Hi, Ben Johnson here to record this week's High Tech Friday. This week we take a look at a new website called Peardeck. Peardeck is going to allow you to do three things. First, it's going to allow you to replace your smartboard. Instead of only being able to engage one student at your smartboard, you're going to be able to engage all 30 students because you'll be able to push your presentation out to all 30 students instead of just one. Secondly, it's going to replace your classroom clickers that you used in the past, basically turning every student's one-to-one device now into a clicker. Third, during student presentations, if they prepare them with Peardeck, they'll be able to keep their classmates more engaged by embedding questions within their presentations. So let's take a look at getting started with Peardeck. Go ahead and go to Chrome, open up Peardeck.com. In the center of the screen, you'll sign in with Google to get started. It does integrate with your Google Drive and with Google Classroom, so you can push this out to students through the Google Classroom. There is a free subscription and a paid subscription. With that paid subscription, you get some nice features that aren't included. It's about $8 a month for teachers. Well worth the money, I think, when you consider how much money your school spent on infrastructure and one-to-one devices. $8 a month is actually pretty reasonable considering the cool things that Peardeck will do. Go to your tech committee if you need some money to help pay for it, or your department head, maybe your district's ed tech team. They've got some good rates to help teachers afford that. Okay, you'll begin by clicking on the red button in the upper right hand corner, create a new deck. And you can basically create a PowerPoint-like presentation here. In fact, you can upload Google presentations and PowerPoint presentations from this screen, even if you're not paying for the premium version. So feel free to use that. Now you can add a lot of different kinds of slides. These four are premium slides that you have to pay for or do the temporary subscription. These other types come for free. You can make a non-interactive slide just like you would in PowerPoint. You can type a title, you can add images. It's got the Google search image built right in, and these are copyright friendly images, so you don't have to worry about violating any copyright here. So these non-interactive slides, think of those as your old PowerPoint kind of slides. You can add YouTube videos, and again you can search that interface right from within. So it's a really nice tool. I would encourage you to have your students make their presentations for their classmates using this tool. You can embed websites within your Peardeck. They do have to have that HTTPS. They have to be secure, so they have to have that S in order to embed it with Peardeck, just so that Peardeck doesn't have to worry about security issues. By doing that, you can force the student to stay on that website within your Peardeck. Okay. These choose answer, these are the really powerful ones. So here I'll do a choose answer, and I'll say which country is shown below. And then I can add an image here and do a quick search for France, for instance. And this is a poor example, but I'll just go ahead and throw it in here just so that you can see how it works. It shows me a red exclamation point here because I didn't add my answers here. Now, unlike some other tools, this one doesn't score automatically. You'll have to run Flubaroo on this after the students finish, which is an easy thing to do. It'll be beyond the scope of this tutorial, but just Google Flubaroo and you can see how that works. In addition to those choose an answer, I can write a number. So I can do how many questions make up Europe. And that will allow students to respond with a number. It makes a nice box and whisker chart. Okay, I can do write text, so something like which is your favorite European country, why. Okay, now I can continue to add as many slides and questions as I want. If you do register for that 30-day trial, you can add these questions, which are actually quite nice. I'll show you how you can use these questions without paying in sort of the impromptu off-the-cuff question mode, like a clicker. You'll see that in a second. But if you want to try it, try out that 30-day trial, see what you think. It may turn out that it's well worth the investment there. Okay, when I'm ready to show this to my class, I'm going to hit this green Start Presenting button. And it's going to give me a few choices here. You'll usually probably want to operate in the student view unless you've paid for the full premium version. This session dashboard is awesome, but you'll have to do the 30-day trial or else pay for the subscription. You can do the student view for free. So you'll put this on your projector, ask students to go to that site, and then you'll give them this code. Now the nice thing is I can test this so that I can see what it looks like as a student. They'll just join with their Google Drive account, and then they'll type in that code that you have up on the board, and they'll just see a message saying that it's waiting for their teacher to begin. So as a teacher now I can advance these slides with the arrows down here, or I can look at thumbnails. So I'll just advance that. And here's what my student sees. So this would just be like an old-fashioned PowerPoint that you're now pushing out to the student's device. When I advance to a slide with a YouTube video or a website, students will be presented with a message saying that they need to watch up front to see the YouTube video, or in the case that you embed like a Wikipedia site, they would actually see and be able to interact with that Wikipedia site right on their screen. Okay, let me get to an interactive question. So which country is shown below? So the students will get this, and then they'll have to choose. As the teacher, I can lock their screen with this lock and then show the answers. And with only the one student, it's not terribly powerful, but you can imagine with 30 students, it's going to be some really good feedback for you as the teacher. Maybe it's a pre-assessment, maybe it's a formative assessment to see if your students understood that concept that you just lectured about. Okay, and then I can advance to the next question. So how many countries make up Europe? And then all of your students then can answer that. And again, the teacher can lock that with a padlock and then show the answers, and it will make a nice box and whisker plot, which I think is really helpful. And again, whether it's a formative assessment, a pre-assessment, good feedback for the teacher and really for the students to see what their classmates are thinking. The motto of one of the clicker companies that we used in the past was engage everyone, embarrass no one, and I think this tool does a nice job with that. Okay, let me advance to my next question. So which is your favorite European country? Why? Students then would type a paragraph here, and then the teacher will be able to show those on the screen, lock those, and then show all of the answers. And you can just scroll down the page to show everybody's answers. So just a really nice way to capture some text-based questions also. Now one thing I wanted to show is that as a teacher you don't even actually need to make a presentation. If you just want to use these like the old-fashioned clickers that you used in the past, at any point you can just go ahead and ask a question by clicking on this question mark. And so you can ask a question about anything. So maybe I've got an agree, disagree, thumbs up, thumbs down. So I'll do an agree, disagree. And at this point as the teacher I would just make a statement to the student saying, and maybe this is my pre-test, I know a lot about Europe, and then students can place this dot wherever they think they fall, and then the teacher can pause that, lock that with a lock, and then show the student answers, and that will give the teacher some good feedback about what students sort of think they know about a topic before you even start. Now I can ask other kinds of questions too, thumbs up, thumbs down. So here I could say, what did you think about today's presentation? And of course students then could drag that dot wherever they think in that spectrum here, and then as a teacher again you would lock that, show, and then hopefully you've got some dots around here. If they're down here by the thumbs down, then maybe you can do a follow-up question, paragraph question, such as here's a long question, and then you could just ask your students, what would you change about today's lesson to make it better? So then students could type their answers here. Now students may get clever or funny with their answers, which may be fine, but if they're inappropriate you would just tell the students that their Google ID gets stamped on everything. So when the teacher locks and shows that. If there's any inappropriate answers, you'll be able to track that back to the student and hold them accountable. So just set up your ground rules before you do this, especially the first time. I'm sure students will want to have some fun with it, which is okay. Maybe you'll just do a slide just to allow them to have some fun with that. All right, other kinds of questions I can ask. If I'm a math teacher, I can do draw on grid. I could ask my students to plot x equals 5, y equals 2. And then students can go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then students can go ahead and plot that. Now the teacher can lock that screen, show the students' answer, and then they can scroll down the page to see what all the students thought. So I think for math teachers this is going to have a lot of potential, particularly if you do the pay-for version and you allow students to draw on top of a picture, which you're not seeing here. But here you could do a draw on blank, and I could instruct my students to draw a blank cell. And so students could go ahead and do that. And I suspect all sorts of uses around this tool. I'm just going to change this back to a thinner line here by using this, and then maybe I'm going to draw, and then I could type whoops. Okay, and then students could even label that, and again teachers then could freeze the screen, show the answers, and then teacher can scroll down to show all of the different answers. So lots of neat options. So I like this off the cuff, and that's just this question mark here. And you can do yes, no, true, false, A, B, C, D, long text, short answer, numeric answer. So these would be the same sort of questions that you would have done in the past with your clickers. You could even have a PowerPoint presentation up while you're doing these off-the-cuff sort of questions. Some teachers may never even prepare a Peardeck. You might just use the off-the-cuff questions that you find under the question mark here. Okay, you can ask questions about a specific slide, and that one, if you had an image, maybe as a math teacher you have a worked problem or there's a chemical equation that you need students to balance. So these, with that premium account, offer some other nice features. Alright, so when it's done, the teacher can just end that session, give it a name, so I'll just call it High Tech Friday 1013. There's this new takeaways that's pretty cool that you can publish to the Google Classroom, and then basically that's going to show students their responses almost like as a study guide, maybe for a test the next day, which is a neat new feature, and it integrates into that Google Classroom. So, but I'm going to just return to the editor here and show you as a teacher how you would download the results. So now as a teacher I can come up here to the 3 lines, and I should probably go ahead and name this. I'll just call it Europe 1013, and that's just going to name that Peardeck back in my Google Drive. So, but now to download the results, I'm going to go here, look at all my sessions, and today's session that I just did will show up. I think I called it 113 accidentally. I can go ahead and come here to this cog and export that. And that's going to open up in a Google spreadsheet that you'll see here in just a second. And it's going to include all my students' names and IDs and email addresses along with their answers here. Now, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and run my Flubaroo add-on and grade this automatically, which is a really nice feature. The agree, disagree, you can see here, it just puts a number where their x-axis fell, and so the higher the number, the more strongly they agreed, and the lower the number, the more they disagreed, is how I believe those are published. So really nice to get that feedback from your students, and this is included with the free subscription. You don't have to pay for it. With the paid-for subscription, you can get an even better printout But the free one includes the Google spreadsheet that you can run the Flubaroo on. So in a nutshell, real nice tool. I think teachers are going to like it. I like the fact that you can engage all your students rather than just having one student working a problem at the smartboard. So give it a try. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching this week's High Tech Friday.